When I was younger, my parents used to go to work all the time, so I was handed over to my grandparents. It was my home away from home. All I ever did there was watch The Lion King again and again. My parents have told me that I could even recount the entire script. Though I didn't know it at the time, The Lion King has the fundamental elements of the Bildungsroman. The pariah where Simba is exiled from society by Scar killing Mufasa, the conflict where Simba battles internally between the battle he had run away from, the choice when he has his vision of his dead father acting upon this conflict, and finally the epiphany when he realizes it wasn't his fault that his father died. These exact same elements are shown in the novel Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger and the film Beneath Clouds by Ivan Seen. They are both significant because of their links with the significance context of each of their respective times. Catcher in the Rye captures the essence of the early 40s American culture of war and machismo, while Beneath Clouds depicts the divide between Aboriginals and Anglo-Saxon Australians in the late 20th century. Holden Caulfield, the protagonist of Catcher in the Rye, has his pariah during the first chapter. I forgot to tell you about that. They kicked me out. I wasn't supposed to come back, on the account of I was flunking 4 subjects. Salinger's use of truncated sentences tells the reader that Holden has been outcast from his school, beginning Holden's expedition for maturity. Holden encounters a social situation as we delve into the book. All I did was take off my hunting hat. All of a sudden this lady got on and sat down next to me. Holden's facade in the symbolism of his red hunting hat displays his inability to have an authentic relationship, creating a complication to be solved. Holden Caulfield's dilemma is acted upon near the end of the book directly after Phoebe let him keep her dough. Then I took my hunting hat out of my pocket and gave it to her. His drastic maneuver modifies the symbolism of the hat, developing his understanding of how to fabricate links to people. The absence of the hunting hat mirrors the 40s America machismo. This crucial moment shapes his characterization, building up to the epiphany. I'll watch ya. Then the carousel started and I watched her go around. The thing with kids is, if they want to grab for the gold ring, you have to let them do it and not say anything. Through his sister Phoebe, the allegory tells the audience that he finally understands that you have to let kids grow older and forge their own way into adulthood. Holden develops his ability to make relationships as he had done with Phoebe. Salinger displays the culture of war through the children growing up too fast, according to Holden. In the beginning of Beneath Clouds, Lena is introduced as a protagonist, as an outcast from a friendship group. This is akin to Holden, where he wants to leave. The racial tensions behind the Red Phone riots are on full display. Being an outcast, she wants to forge her own path. Utilizing an extreme long shot, Ivan Seen characterizes her as unable to connect to the landscape. We learn about her identity crisis within her foster family. Rejecting the post-stolen generation stereotypes, she begins her development of figuring out who she is. Thus, this internal struggle against herself becomes the crucifix to figure out. In the middle of the film, Lena makes the decision to show Vaughn her personal photos of her father. The important confession is crucial for Lena's development because she learns about the Aboriginal identity in Vaughn. She reaches her epiphany much later in the film. She has grown up establishing more about herself than the beginning of the film. She knows and accepts both her Aboriginal and Irish identity, representing the 1990s reconciliation. She is at peace with herself, knowing they overlap and become one. She travels to these points as significant milestones of her characterization. Both these coming-of-age texts demonstrate how their accurate depiction of their context. Catcher in the Rye depicts Holden's relationship to the 40s American culture, while Beneath Clouds demonstrates Lena's identity to the divide in Australian races.